Hey everyone, this is Pastor Alan Hathaway. I want to share with you my message themes for the month of July. It's entitled Living Life and Being Godly. It's a study of 2 Peter chapter 1. We often believe that being godly means that a person cannot live a productive or practical life. The view that we have is that life demands compromises that either make life a drudgery or godliness useless. Peter, who struggled with this reality in his own life, tells us that a meaningful life and a godly life are not mutually exclusive. We follow Peter through the New Testament, and we watch his struggles not only through his own eyes, but we see him through the eyes of his fellow apostles. One of those apostles is the Apostle Paul. In Galatians, he gives us a window into the struggle of Peter. Peter is challenged by Paul because he wants to secure the goodwill of the powerful leaders in Jerusalem, but he wants to do so at the expense of his fellow Gentile believers in Antioch. Paul corrects him because of this, and Peter accepts that correction from Paul and changes his direction. Being godly doesn't always mean being right, but it means being aware of how our actions impact others and if these actions please God. 2 Peter was written shortly before Peter's death. He references in this book his impending execution. Christian tradition places the death of Peter and Paul in the winter of AD 67 to 68. This corresponds to Paul's request to Timothy for his winter coat when Timothy next visits Rome. This would place their deaths sometime during the winter months of December to February. The persecution of Christians ended with the suicide of Nero in June of AD 68. Peter faces the end of his life with a sense of purpose and grace. His concern is for the Christian community and its preparation for the future. What makes it possible for Christians to face life in this world? Peter understands that living life and being godly do often seem contradictory. But for Peter, the two are not exclusive of one another. Over this month, we'll be looking at living life and being godly. This Sunday, July 4th, Independence Day, I'll be talking about the blessing of our Christian life. God blesses our lives with his presence and his power. And that is a wonderful truth. On Sunday, July 11th, I want to talk to you about the quality of a Christian life. And I'll be looking at verses 5 through 9 of 2 Peter chapter 1 and the qualities that strengthen our Christian faith. On July the 18th, I want to talk to you about preparing for life and death from verses 10 through 15 of chapter 1. I want to look at this concept of how we live and die with a sense of purpose in our Christian life. On the 25th the last Sunday of the month, I want to talk to you about the solid foundation that we have as Christians. And we'll be looking at verses 16 through 21. Our faith is not subject to the whims of opinion, emotion, tradition, but it is subject to God's revelation and the light of truth and the correction of the body of Christ. These truths are important for us as we live our lives in 2021. But it will also be important as we live our lives into the next years if Christ tarries. So it is important for us as Christians to understand both what it means to live life and what it means to be godly. Take care of yourself. I hope to see you in church. God's blessings on you.